and welcome to Sarah's Stamping Retreat. Today we're going to be creating a white on white card which is inspired by this month's Simon Says Stamp challenge. I think white on white cards can be really elegant, but for me they also need lots of texture to kind of bring them to life. So I'm going to use this month's stitching die of the month from Spellbinders to create that. So you can see that we've got this frame, and you could use this in a lot of ways. So you could use this piece on its own just to cut the stitching pieces into your cardstock, and you could just sew that into your cardstock. You could use it with that, and then it would cut out the frame, and then you could stitch it. You could use it just with that, and you could stitch round and have an aperture in the middle. You could use it with both of them for a stitched frame, or you could create a frame without that, and then obviously you've got these two pieces that you could use separately as well. So there's a lot of ways to use there. Then you've got these thank you so much and a gift for you sentiments, and then we've got a ladybird to stitch, and we've got these little flowers. So I've cut out all of my pieces and I've started stitching them as well, so that you don't have to watch me do all of it. So you can see I've used this as a frame and I've cut in the stitching detail. You can see I've started to stitch that, and so I'm just going to finish that off. So I'm obviously using white thread because I want a white on white card. I'm using 2 strands of yarn, and all I'm doing is following the stitch line. So I'm going up there, and I'm going to go back into this hole, I'm going to go out to this side, and the stitch lines are embossed on the frame for you, so you just follow the lines. So we just go up the middle one, back into that hole, off to the side, back into that hole, off to the other side. And you could obviously just use this like this without the stitching as a punched pattern frame as well. You don't have to stitch it, but I think this is quite nice. And the other thing you could do as well, if you didn't want to do it like this, you could do 3 rows of running stitch and have kind of rings round it as well. So there's loads of different ways to use it. I wanted to do the stitching today because, like I said before, for me, I want white on white cards to have lots of texture because that's what makes them interesting to me, and this adds a really lovely texture to this frame. Then that's that frame finished. So no ladybirds complete without its spots. So then I'm going to grab a teeny bit of double-sided tape. I'm going to pop that on the back, just making sure it doesn't cover up any of the holes. I'm just going to use that to catch the thread at the back. And then I'm just going up each of these outside holes and back into the middle. And I'm going to work my way round like that, just to add some nice texture to the ladybird spots. And obviously this set would be perfect for making really colourful cards as well. You could do your ladybird in all the traditional ladybird colours. I'm just doing it like this because we're doing a white on white card today. And then I can just trap the thread under some of the stitches at the back and just chop that off. So I've done 3 of those already, so I've got 4 of those in total. Then this is the headpiece of the ladybird. So it's actually done very similarly to the spots. So I'm just going to add on some tape again just to catch my thread. And then just like with the circle, I'm going to go down each of the ones around the outside in turn, back up the middle, down the next one, back up the middle, down the next one. And you can see that these are really quick and easy to do. There's literally like 7 stitches on this one. And then I'm just going to trap that under here again. And then the wings, you can see, are done in the exact same way. So I've got those 2 wings there. So let's put my ladybird together. I've got the base here, then I've got this piece that can go underneath for the antenna, and then I'm going to use glue dots to add on these pieces that I've sewn, because I think those kind of dry adhesives like glue dots or double-sided tape or something like that works better with adhering all that embroidery floss. So we can put that up there. Then I'm going to add these so that they come kind of slightly apart at the bottom. And then I'll add on the spots. So then I'm going to show you two setups for this. So that is the first one. This piece of embossed paper behind is done with the January 3D embossing folder of the month from Spellbinders. It's really gorgeous. So I like this because it adds loads of texture. However, you might decide that the bits you're putting on it don't show up as well. So I'm also going to, in case you prefer it, show you what it would look like if we put it straight on here. And this gives a kind of more clean and simple look for those that prefer that look. So you could go with that if you prefer a clean and simple look, but I'm going to go with the embossed panel. So I've cut this panel down to be 1/4 of an inch smaller than my card blank. So I'll just glue that on. I'll just weigh that down with some acrylic blocks so that it adheres nicely, while I just add some foam pads to the back of these. Because the other thing that I think really makes a white on white card is plenty of dimensions so that everything kind of stands off the card. You can see it better. And then I can just add these onto my card. Really, really love this embossing folder. It's so pretty. So I hope you can see how that dimension lifts everything up a bit and just helps it stand out from that textured background. And then there's our finished card. So all of that texture and dimension really helps make the card interesting. I'm really happy with how that turned out. Let me know in the comments below if you like white on white cards, or if you've never made one, whether you're going to try one. So I really hope that you enjoyed creating today's card with me. If you did, I'd really appreciate you clicking like below. You can also press subscribe if you'd like to see future videos. If you press the bell button and select all, then YouTube will also notify you when I've got a new video available. All of the products that I've used for today's cards are listed in the description below. And there's also a link there to my blog where you can find a picture supply list if that helps you find what you're looking for. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to see you again soon.